Okay, we are at noon, so welcome everybody to those that can join us live. This will also be recorded and be shared on our website, so anybody can access it later on. So hello, thank you so much for being here. My name is Ava Weston, Economic and Workforce Development Specialist with the Placer Business Resource Center. Welcome to our webinar in partnership with Safe Credit Union on Idea to Income Financial Essentials for Small Businesses. So just a quick agenda for today. First, my colleague Daniela Stepik and I will be providing a brief overview on the Placer Business Resource Center and the services that we offer. Then we're going to be turning it over to Savannah Brown, Community Development Specialist with Safe Credit Union, to dive into our content for today. We'll then wrap up with a Q&A for anyone that has questions for our speakers. All right, so before we dive into hearing from Savannah, we wanted to provide a brief introduction into the Placer Business Resource Center, as we're a great first point of contact for anyone that's conducting business in Placer County. And we want to paint a picture of the services that we offer so that you can walk away today with a better idea of what we offer our business community. So a little bit about us. We are the Placer Business Resource Center, or PBRC for short. We are a program run out of the Placer County Office of Economic Development. We are here to support small businesses and to get them connected with the resources that they need to succeed. So we offer a range of services, all of which are completely free, to include webinars like this one today, one-on-one advising that is there to address your unique needs, hiring assistance through our Business Advantage Network division, as well as navigating the world of licensing and permitting. So we are currently open for virtual appointments on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, as well as for walk-ins at our office in Rocklin, 1000 Sunset Boulevard, and we are closed on Fridays. So now my colleague Daniela is going to provide a brief overview of the type of resources that we can get you connected with. There are so many incredible resources out there. So our job is to give you tailored advice on which are most useful based on your unique case. So please reach out to us so we can help you figure out which one of these is most relevant to you. So go ahead, Daniela.
Thanks, Ava. So we here have like the next 3 slides, a bunch of resources, but when you come to us and you tell us what your business is or what you're trying to look for, we can give you a whole other suite of resources as well. So this is not a comprehensive list here. And I also wanted to plug that we just launched our new business resource hub on our website. So you can find all these resources categorized by essentially this. So like business assistance, trainings and workshops, hiring workforce resources, etc. So I'm going to do a high level overview. So of each one. So the Small Business Development Centers, SBDCs for short, provide free consulting and advising, and they have over 150 consultants that can help you. And they've been doing this, all day, every day. So if you have a question, they're likely be able to help you. But the one that we work with primarily is Sierra SBDC. So you'll go online, you'll sign up. It's really quick. You do like a 15-minute consultation appointment with an intake specialist, and then they'll set you up with an advisor. So it's a really great process, and you get a lot of help. So we also have chambers of commerce. So we have one for each city. So Roswell, Rockland, Lincoln, Auburn, Colfax, Forest Hill, Loomis, think that's all of them, but they are also a great way to like network, meet other business owners, and just get an understanding of the business community where you are at. So I highly recommend that you go and meet them, and I think memberships do cost, but just something to keep in mind. And then we also have the Service Corps Retired Executive Score. Similar to SBDCs, these folks have been in the business for a long time, whether they're CEOs or managers or something like that. They can provide free advising as well. And they also have trainings and workshops online as well. And then we have the Small Business Administration. They have a learning center that could be super helpful for folks to follow along on their own time of how to start a business and learn some other cool tricks. And then for trainings and workshops, so here, for example, Placer Business Resource Center, we partner with folks like Savannah to host these webinars, but SBDC, SCORE, and the SBA, they all have great resources online you can access anytime, and most of them are free, either online or even in person in some cases. So next slide, please, Ava. All right, so licensing and permitting, that's one of the top questions that we always get when people come into our office. So depending on where you are, if you're getting a business license, you'll either get it through the Treasurer Tax Collector's office, if you're operating in unincorporated Placer County, or you'll go through the cities, depending which city limits that you are in. If you're not sure which one you should get, you should ask us, because sometimes you might have a Roseville address and it might be an unincorporated area. So if you're not sure, feel free to reach out to us. Fictitious business name. So depending on what name you want to use, you might need to file for one. So you would register it through the Placer County Clerk Recorder's office. We actually have a recording on our website of how to do that. So feel free to go through there, or we can connect you with the folks on how to do it as well. And then for permits, one tool that we can use online is the CalGold permit tool. It's free to use. You put your business type in and then where you are, and it populates some ideas for you. Sometimes it's confusing and overwhelming. So always check with your local agencies about which ones you might actually need. And then depending on your business, you might have to do different permits. So for example, if you are a food business, you'll have to work for environmental health. So that might look like getting a cottage food permit or something else. So going back, environmental health will help you get or help you set up your food business as they run the food protection program. So you want to talk to them about those kind of things. And then some general resources, the NorCal Entrepreneur Club, Entrepreneur Development Group, and Growth Factory and Roseville Venture Lab, all there to support local business owners, new entrepreneurs, startups, and things like that. So you can find them. They either have physical locations or just online resources as well. All right, next, please. Okay, so another question is always about funding. We do not in the county have any funding for small businesses, but we have a lot of partners that might have ideas for you. So the small business development centers have a finance center, so you get it set up with an advisor to help find funding. But they also have an online tool called Fundica, which is free and really simple to use. It takes a couple minutes just to sign up, and then you get access to an inventory of government grants and loans, which is awesome. And then California Office of Small Business Advocate also has a grant funding page. I don't know if there's any active ones on right now, but you can always check whenever you want. Small Business Administration, if you're looking for more like a loan, you can look at that and the Small Business Loan Match. But Savannah might be here to tell you some other ideas, so that would be awesome. And then hiring and workforce, so we have our Placer County Business Advantage Network and Golden Sierra Job Training Agencies, both really good about connecting job seekers and job employers, and they host job fairs and job connection events. So really great if you're looking for that avenue and all that stuff, and the HR perspective as well. So I think that's it for me. Thank you.
Do you want to go over the upcoming webinars really quick?
Oh, yeah, yes, thank you. So some upcoming webinars that we have. So in a few weeks, we'll have SDIT support to talk about information technology and cybersecurity. One thing I personally don't think about is the protecting yourself, protecting your assets and everything like that. So this will be a great webinar on just what is that and how to prevent any phishing attacks and stuff like that. So feel free to join us on that date for more information on that. And then a really cool one that we're also having is on October 8th. We are having William Red Johnson. He is a veteran. He owns currently 3 businesses, 2 of which are restaurant businesses. One's Yummy Poke and Red's Pizza and Tap House in Rockland. So he's going to share his story of like how he was able to do that and give some really aspiring and inspiring like words. And we met with him last week, and he's a really cool guy. So I highly recommend you guys tune in for that, especially if you're the food route was super helpful. He'll give some great ones. And I mentioned briefly about recording. So on our website, we've recorded all of these webinars. You can find those webinars on our website under the workshops tab at the top. And then you can just see it on your own time. But if you have questions or have any ideas for any future webinars, feel free to let us know. Okay. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Daniela. And here is our information to get in contact with us, our phone number, our email. We are also on Facebook, we are on LinkedIn, we are on Instagram. So we try to stay active. And we also do have a monthly newsletter. I'm happy to send that link out to everyone that is registered so they can get signed up to stay informed on all the latest resources. So now we are going to transition into our main event. So we'll be hearing from Savannah Brown with Safe Credit Union. Savannah is a dedicated community development specialist with a mission to empower individuals and communities to achieve financial well-being. By prioritizing wellness, authenticity, and grace, Savannah creates meaningful connections and fosters a supportive environment where financial empowerment becomes accessible to all. So thank you so much, Savannah. I'll stop sharing my screen and take it away.
There we go. All right, you can hear me okay? See my screen okay?
Yes.
Perfect. Oh my gosh, Ava, thank you so much for that amazing introduction and such great resources that you all provide at your Business Resource Center. So those of you out there in the audience, absolutely take advantage of those. I'm going to share some of the resources in my presentation today where I got this information, but I highly recommend checking out the Business Resource Center. It sounds like all of the facets I'm going to talk about today, you can get that help in person, over the phone, or virtually. So definitely don't hesitate to reach out to them. All right, so thank you all so much for taking the time to be here today to talk about idea to income financial essentials for entrepreneurs. This is a really great general information course if you maybe are hesitant about starting your own business, or maybe you have ideas on how you want to start your business. Maybe you've started, but you've run into a couple of roadblocks and you're not quite sure how to move past those. And so this is going to be a really great seminar for you to take back with you. In the chat, you'll notice that there's tons of links. All of these links are from the information in today's presentation. And if you can't access those, in the recording notes, we'll have those links to those resources available for you as well. So what are we going to talk about? Getting started. This is idea to income. So we're going to start from the very basics of when your idea is just a little rosebud, all the way to it being a beautiful flower blooming from all of your amazing work and dedication that you're putting into it. So we're going to talk about getting started, business types. We'll talk about how to make your business official. We'll talk a little bit about business credit and business lending. And we'll talk about business services and some tips for you on your journey. And then we'll lead into the Q&A afterwards. All right, so although I have an immense amount of knowledge in the financial industry, I am not a tax professional. I am also not a CPA or certified public accountant. So for those general questions or for those types of questions, I recommend reaching out to a licensed tax professional or a certified public accountant for advice on setting up your business or the different types of things we talk about today as it refers to taxes, finances, loans, and other topics. All right. So idea, you have this really great idea for a business, and now you're starting to wonder if this is something you want to invest in. And so getting started is really kind of getting this all out on paper, really defining your business idea. So you want to map out your goal for the business. What is the audience that you are trying to serve? What is the problem that you are trying to solve for? Clearly define what you would like to accomplish with this business. If you have a craft that you are trying to hone in on, what specifically are you looking to provide? Is it a niche, or are you going to have a variety of products? And of course, answering both of those questions can lead you down different roads as you discover the best way to set up your business. So you really want to have a clear definition of what your business idea is. Next, I recommend creating a mission statement because this is going to help you understand your vision better. And what this is also going to do is help you align your next steps with your values. This is also going to help you define your brand for your mission. And so to look at other businesses, you can look at the other organizations out there, look at their mission statements, and kind of see how that aligns with their business model. And you can come up with a mission statement yourself, which will absolutely help you, again, align with your values and align with your brand that you want to launch. Next, you're going to want to research similar businesses. This is very important because you want to know what other businesses have similar models to what you're looking at. What might be the failures of other businesses, because we can learn so much from our own failures, right? And there's lessons to be learned in there to be able to build up that business model even stronger. What is your intended audience? And what are the intended audiences for these other businesses that are either similar or different than yours? And then taking it a little bit deeper. Focus groups are a really great way to learn a little bit more about the business you are trying to create. A focus group could be a group of 3 to 5 people with different backgrounds, different demographics that can kind of give you some information on their perspective of your business idea. They can help you with your brand launch or marketing materials. They can help understand the emotions that they are receiving, because it's better to have more perspectives than one as you start diving into what your specific business model is going to be. Surveys are also great, especially in the world of technology. You can do online surveys out to your friends and family. You can send this out to anybody you see online and have them take these anonymous surveys to be able to kind of narrow down your business ideas, help you weed through the different challenges you might have to face, and making sure that you are reaching the right intended audience for that. So you've done a little bit of research on the side for your business model, and now it's important for you to look into the economic side, right? And so this is going to be the demand of the product or service that you're looking to sell or offer out there in the community. What is that demand, and are there seasonal changes? Seasonal changes are very important when it comes to financial impact, because if you have one busy season and you maybe are slower during the winter months, it's important that during the busy season you prepare and you are proactive before those winter months come, and that way you're not scraping or having to lean on debt to get you by it during those months. So seasonal changes are going to be very important. Location, I'm sure you've heard, location, location, location. If you plan on having a storefront, this is going to be very important. We'll talk a little bit more about this later. If you plan to have more of an online presence, where are you going to be posting this? Are you going to have all social media platforms working for you, or are you going to be on one versus the other? Pricing, right? Pricing is also important, especially for economic research. You're looking at not only the cost of selling, but also the cost of production, which is often forgotten because you want to have that competitive edge. You want to be able to sell a product for less than maybe others offer, but you have to consider the cost of production, because if you're not going above, you're not meeting that cost of production, then you're either going to be under or you're going to be just meeting your basic needs there. Information on this can absolutely be found on the SBA or Small Business Association website. And again, that link for that one is in the chat for you too. So you've done some research, you have a really good mission statement, you understand the cost of selling, cost of production, and you've looked at location, online web pages, things like that. And now it's time to actually get to work. So pen to paper, it's time to develop your plan. A business plan is going to be your blueprint for success when you do start up your business. It's also going to help make sure that you're fitting your new business into your budget, because it's going to allow you to look at all of the fine-tuned details that are going to go into your new budget for your business. Now, there's 2 different types of business plans that exist out there. There's a traditional business plan. This is going to be very detail oriented. So if you want to make sure you have all of the information available, I'm very much a list maker. I have to have a list for all of the different projects or programs that I'm running, and I want to make sure I'm not missing a beat, right? So if that sounds like you, this traditional business plan might be best. It includes several elements such as an executive summary, company description, market analysis, financial projections, and so much more. And I think this is a really great place to lean on your Business Resource Center, because you don't have to do it alone. A lot of times people get overwhelmed, especially developing that business plan, and this is where people will stop in their process altogether and not move forward. But you have the tools, you have the free resources to help you, so don't hesitate to reach out for help. The second type of business plan is going to be a lean startup. So maybe you want to have a little bit less of all of those details worked out, or maybe it's a little bit more of a simple business idea or model that you have. It's beneficial if you want to describe your business briefly or the business in a relatively simple term. It includes elements such as key partnerships, resources, revenue streams, customer channels such as social media or online web pages, things of that nature. But there are two different types of startup plans for your business. And again, that link is in the chat for you. If you have questions, you can go in there. You can also see different business plan examples in there. So you can kind of pull a little bit of inspiration from those as well. All right, so you've created your business plan, you have done the research, you have created a budget for your new business, and now it's time to understand a little bit more about the business type you want to select. And again, you're probably going to hear me repeat this a couple more times today, but this is not going to count as tax advice. And it's very important that you do talk to a licensed professional about your business type. And the reason being is because there might be different type of financial implications depending on the one that you select. So let's talk about different business types that exist. And this information is pulled directly from the SBA website. So no secrets here. You can access this information available on there as well. So there's different types of businesses and different types of ownership. One of the most common types of businesses we see are sole proprietorships. Sole props or sole proprietorships are most common type of small businesses. They're easy to set up and they also give you full control of your business, but also full liability. Examples of sole props could be if you want to be a photographer, a personal trainer, a baker, right? You want to open up a mom and pop shop. Those types of businesses are going to fall under that sole prop field. There's also partnerships. This is also a simple structure for two or more people who own the business. So maybe you and your best friend are going to go into a business together. They're going to do real estate. You're going to do loans, right? That could be considered a partnership. Other examples could be law firms, physician groups, as well as real estate groups. LLCs are limited liability companies that help separate the liability from your personal and business ventures. And these have benefits for both corporation and partnership structures. And some examples of LLCs are Pepsi Cola, Nike, and Sony, just to name a few that are popular out there. Corporations exist. There are several types of corporations that exist out there. C corporations like Walmart Inc. or Apple Inc. And then there's also nonprofit organizations such as churches, public schools, museums, so on and so forth. And again, as you're trying to figure out which is going to be the best type for your business, it's recommended you reach out to a trusted partner such as the Business Resource Center to help you on that process. And then the last one I'll mention here are cooperatives. Cooperatives are owned by their members, and that's going to be something like Safe Credit Union. So cooperatives are out there to help, again, build the community up with you. All right, you've done the work, you've created your business plan, you've started doing the research here, you've decided on the type of business, and now it's time to take that leap. And again, this is where a lot of people will fall off because there's so much that kind of goes into it, depending on the type of business that it is. But this is why I love this quote, is because we have to jump into that fear. That discomfort is going to help build us and give us more opportunities to learn. And the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. So you know you have resources out there to help you make your business flourish. So idea to reality, register your business to make it a legal entity based on the structure and location. Most small businesses only need to register their name to make it official to protect the name as well. But you definitely want to do some research on the business type and get some help on that as well. Set up an employer identification number for your business. This is free and you can do this so you can file taxes for your business and so much more. Some sole props will utilize their social security number for the business. we definitely recommend talking to a tax professional to see what the differences are and how that might implicate your personal and business budgets. And then licensing and permits. So as mentioned earlier, there's resources, there's organizations that can help you with this process. And so try not to be overwhelmed. Understand that you do have people that you can reach out to help you understand what are the zoning laws, what are the licenses, what are the permits that I need to be able to run my business functionally. And there's both state and federal licenses. So some will require some fees, and you'll want to include that in your budget as well. And then the location of your business may have additional zoning permits. So that's why they say location, location, location. Looking into that information will definitely help you with your business plan. All right, financial essentials. So now you've gotten everything good to go. It is time to make sure you are secured with your own personal and business finance. So you want to set up a business checking and a savings account. You want to keep your business finances separate from your personal finances. I can tell you, I have seen people who keep Elevate together, and come tax season, it is really, really hard for them to get everything dialed in. So this will make your life easier when it comes to tax season. It will make your life easier when you're looking for specific charges or purchases that you need to include in your statements for that. So keep your personal and your business accounts separate. In addition, you want to protect your business. So look for insurance that can protect you. This can help you be protected from unexpected costs of running the business in case something happens to break down, you have to replace equipment, things like that. And the U.S. Small Business Administration provides a great tool to help you decide what type of insurance might be best for your business. So you can definitely check out that link that's provided in the chat or reach out to your Business Resource Center for additional help. All right, let's talk a little bit about business credit, because believe it or not, there is a difference between your business credit and your personal credit. If you use a separate tax identification number for your business than your social security number, then your business may develop its own credit score. But these are a little bit different than our personal credit scores that we're familiar with. According to Experian, many small businesses use personal credit to run their business, and most lenders will also use your personal credit. So a lot of people don't really stress too much about this, but it's good information to have in your back pocket in case you need to. Some creditors are moving away from using personal credit, and there also has been some revisions lately about qualifications. And we also included that in the chat too, that Congress website, to give you a little bit more information on what changes have happened recently. Your personal credit score, just on your personal side, is calculated based on on-time payments, credit utilization, mainly credit cards. You want to keep your credit card utilization pretty low. Variety of credit, new credit, anytime you've applied for credit, applied for loans, things like that, and your length of credit history. So those are the 5 factors that go into your personal credit. Business scores are calculated based on the following. So credit, number of trade experiences or number of accounts, outstanding balances, your payment habits, utilization, and trends over time, very similar to your personal credit. Public records, frequency, dollar amounts associated with liens, judgments, or bankruptcies. And additionally, demographic info, years on file, how long your credit has existed, standard industrial classification code, which indicates the type of business that you run. And just some tips for you to have good credit habits is to pay your bills on time every time. In case you do have to lean on a credit card or you need to get an emergency loan for your business, it's always important to prioritize having good credit habits for your personal financial as well. So pay your bills on time every time. Don't borrow more than what you can afford to pay back. Use credit to get rewarded. Learn the different types of credit, which is installment loans versus revolving loans, and how those impact your credit score. And definitely reach out for help. There's a tons of free resources. I'm also going to share a free resource through Safe Credit Union that you can go on and just learn a little bit more about how your credit is calculated. All right. So let's talk about the different types of loans and lending that's available for businesses. So commercial real estate loans, if you're looking to expand your business or maximize investment opportunities, this might be a good loan option for you. Commercial real estate loans help you purchase property for your growing business. Vehicle and equipment loans, taking your business further with the vehicle loans. You can finance a business vehicle used for day-to-day business transportation. You can also look into commercial vehicle loans like vans or anything like that for transporting your goods and services. If you think about a mobile bakery, right, they might have a refrigeration van that they purchase for their business. If you need to have equipment for your business, i.e., I'm going to use the baking example, a big old KitchenAid, for the baking goods that you're going to have, that would fall under this category as well. Printing press for shirts, so on and so forth. Small business administration loans. So these are built for small businesses looking to grow. You can take advantage of longer terms and higher borrowing limits, and these are subject to credit approval. You can find that information on the Small Business Administration website as well. And there's two different types that they offer. So they offer an SBA 7A, which is real estate, working capital, equipment, and an SBA 504, which is to purchase, refinance, or renovate your business space. And lastly, credit cards can help you earn rewards on everyday purchases. And one thing that I will say about credit cards for your business is sometimes, if you fall a little bit short, income is coming in, your payments are coming in, a credit card might be a good buffer in between while you're waiting for that money to come in. But I don't recommend having high balances on those credit cards. You don't want to find yourself in a pickle where you have leaned on your credit card so much that now you're a little bit under. So definitely reach out if you need some additional financial assistance. And I really like this image here because it talks about working capital. And if you think about your personal net worth, this is very similar to working capital. So working capital is essentially going to be your current assets minus your current liabilities. Same thing with calculating your personal net worth is what do you currently own versus what do you currently owe. And so it's important as you think about these things because you want to make sure you have a decent amount of working capital to cushion your business. And so current assets could be property that you have, inventory, cash on hand. Current liabilities might be wages you owe to employees, rent, utilities, taxes, things like that. And your working capital is great to help you as you move with cash, helping you with short-term debt. Maybe you had to use your credit card to make some purchases and you can take care of that now. Inventory and other operating expenses. All right. So lots of business services exist out there. So taking it a step further, you have your business finance, you have your budget, you have your credit, all of these things. And now it's time to get into the nitty-gritty and figure out how to run your business with the right services for you. And so there are different services available, such as, how do you want to take payments? Do you want to provide gift cards? How do you want to have tax preparation? Things like that. So once you decide how you'd like to receive payments for your goods and services, you can look into point of sale options, or better known as POS. You may be familiar with those machines that you use on the daily to purchase your coffee, groceries, other items. And there's other options available as well. So definitely want to speak with a business expert when you talk about these different services. And you can also provide gift cards through these services as well. So typically it's called like merchant services or point of sale services. They'll rent you out a machine, and then they'll also give you the option or feature to add gift cards into your program. There's also cashless payment options, which are rising in popularity. You almost can't find a small business that isn't taking Venmo or Square or some type of mobile payment service. And these are really easy and convenient ways to get paid. And most of the time, your payment comes through instantly. It is important to follow the business profile guidelines for these services, and we also recommend reaching out to a CPA or tax expert to find out the best use for these, because it can get muddy as you're trying to track all of the transactions that are coming in. And again, you want to keep those things separate, your personal Venmo and your business Venmo. You don't want those mixed up together. For everything else, such as tracking payments, tracking your deposits to your employees, tracking payments coming into your account, tax preparation, benefits, payroll for your employees, and so many more options. There are a lot of services out there that can help you and house all of this under one roof. QuickBooks is just one example of many that are out there. So I implore you to do some research and find what works best for you. All right, I feel like I sped through this content today, but I want to leave you with some financial tips and some additional financial resources. So first and foremost, make sure you separate your personal accounts from your business accounts. This will make tax season so much easier for you and for your personal and business budgets. Save with a purpose. Don't forget your why. It takes money to make money, as I'm sure we've all heard before, but stay focused and increase your capital, and don't forget to reach out if you need help. And invest in your business. It's going to take time, grace, and even some failure along the way, but you absolutely got this. Always look for ways to enhance or grow your business and continue learning more. It's not a one and done thing. It's always cyclical. You always want to learn how you can better serve the communities that you do serve. This QR code on your screen will take you to additional free resources through Safe Credit Union. You do not have to be a member to enjoy these. This can be videos, blogs, and other educational resources. And lastly, if you have any questions that we don't answer today in the Q&A, you can absolutely email me. I am happy to answer any questions that you have or get you in contact with someone who has that information for you. And I'll turn it on back over to Ava and Daniela. Let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen. I am shocked at how fast I was trying there to keep it going.
Wonderful. So much great information. Thank you so much, Savannah. Now we'll transfer into Q&A. So if anybody has any questions, I do see that we have one in the chat, wondering the contact info to learn more about business loans. I'm guessing you would be a good first point of contact for them. We'll go ahead, if you wouldn't mind, Savannah, to put your email in the chat for them. That would be great. And any more questions? I'll just linger a moment in case there's any last minute from anyone. Okay. Okay. Well, you have everyone here. You have the Business Resource Center's contact info. You have Savannah's contact info. So please follow up with us. We're all here to help you. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Ava. Thank you,
Savannah.
Daniela.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.